The session eventually comes to an end, and we all start packing up for the day. Both Natsuki and Yuri leave not long after. After zipping up my bag, I approach Monica.
Hey, Allie.
She greets me with her usual cheery tone. Hey, Moni, you ready to head home?
Almost. I just gotta put the rest of this paperwork in my bag. Just wait at the corridor with Sayori. I won't be too long. Or won't be long.
I look over to Sayori, who is holding the door open with her arm gesturing toward the corridor.
Come on, little birds. My arm's getting tired like this.
I give Moni a quick kiss on her cheek before moving to join Sayori. The pair of us then move into the corridor to wait. True to her word, Monica didn't take too long to finish packing. The three of us ended up going the usual route, along with a stop at a nearby store. Of course, that was mostly because Sayori was hungry, but the store near school has some nice fried chicken, so I can't complain. Eventually, we make our way onto mine and Sayori's street.
We'll see you both tomorrow. See ya tomorrow.
Later, Sayo. Sayori gives both Monica and I a goodbye hug before heading inside. The walk to mine doesn't take too long, especially given that Sayori and I are neighbors. As I go to grab my keys from my pocket, Monica releases my hand. I turn to face her. You want me to call you when you get back?
Of course, yeah. But can I ask you something first?
Of course, yeah. I slide my hands into my pockets. Part of me can already guess what she wants to ask about. Or rather, who.
I know this is probably gonna make me sound like a jealous so-and-so, but I noticed you talking to Yuri earlier.
Called it.
Like, I'm not mad. I couldn't be mad at you. Especially not for talking to a friend. No, that'd just be stupid.
That's oddly specific. I shake off the weird feeling quickly. Yuri told me you've been ignoring her today. I guess I sigh, internally debating how best to phrase what I'm about to say. You're not doing it deliberately, are you? At that, Monica's stunned. For a brief moment, I get this sinking gut feeling in my stomach. A million different outcomes play out in my mind on how Monica could potentially respond.
No. I didn't realize that I was ignoring her. I've just been a little preoccupied with my thoughts today.
You can actually make this one word, you don't need the hyphen.
I guess it was a little worse than I thought.
I rest my hands on Monica's shoulders. Your dad been bothering you again? She nods regretfully. Given how little I know about her dad, there's only a few things I can imagine him moaning about. Either our relationship, her university prospects, or for no discernible reason at all. I'm pretty sure discernible is spelled with an I here, not an A. Again, with how little I know, it could be one of those or something completely different. With that uncertainty playing on my mind, I decide not to press it. Look, all I'm gonna suggest is talk to Yuri. Just to clear this all up, you know?
I suppose you're right.
I quickly plant a kiss on Monica's cheek, causing her to look back to me with a smile. You trust me, right?
Of course I do, Hallie. It's just, I've only really known Yuri since she joined the club, and I know she can hold in a lot when something's bothering her. Well, at least that's how she was with her and Natsuki's first major disagreement.
You still know her better than I do. If there's anyone that can get through to her, it's you.
Gosh, you sound so sure.
She tries to regain some of her confidence, though her nerves still peek through. P-E-E-K. Peek, that's a different kind of thing. I entwine my fingers with Monica's, and her eyes look back into mine. That's because I am sure. I believe in you, you know. She tightens her grip on my hands.
I know, hun. Just another reason why I love you so much.
She lets out a soft giggle. I smile, a faint scarlet hue washing over me. I love you too.
I'll call you when I'm home.
I'll be waiting. We share a quick kiss before Monica heads off. I then turn to my door and, after finally unlocking it, I head back inside. I end up heading straight to my bedroom. The sooner I get out of this stuffy uniform, the better. I decide to just play some games whilst I wait for Monica. Of course, that wait doesn't last too long. The light from the early morning sun almost blinds me as I reluctantly raise from my bed. I yawn, partially hoping to nod off back to sleep again. Even if I did manage to somehow get back to sleep, I wouldn't be able to get back to that dream I was having. It's a shame. It was a really nice dream, too. Don't tell us about it or anything. Soon after forcing myself out of bed and my mind out of the gutter, I ended up getting into the normal routine. Alright, I guess that told us everything we needed to know. Shower, get dressed, breakfast. It's formulaic as fuck, but easy to keep track of. As I'm finishing up my breakfast, there's a knock at the door. It's open! I call out towards the front door, only being answered by sound of the door opening. Footsteps then come closer to the kitchen, soon followed by a voice.
Morning, Hallie!
I place my bowl in the sink before turning around. Morning, you two. Sayori beams, as do I. But something about Monica seems off. The only thing that comes to mind is that she seems to be spacing out. Monica? No response. I step a little closer. Moni? Still nothing.
Hello? Earth to the future Mrs. Takuchi.
Is that her last name? My cheeks go a little red hearing Sayori referring to Monica by my last name.
Huh?
Monica seems to finally return to Earth. Thankfully, Sayori didn't have to resort to tapping her finger on her head.
Oh, morning, Hallie. Sorry, I just spaced out for a second.
I figured. Then again, knowing there's been times where she's napped at school, maybe spacing out isn't too unrealistic for her. I walk towards her and rest my hand on her arm. Hey, you don't have to apologize. I still do it most of the time. As does Sayori. Monica chuckles lightly as Sayori scowls at me.
You're worse for it, Hallie.
I smirk, seeing a way that I can turn this situation back in my favor. Am I, though, Sayo? Sayori pouts and playfully mimics my voice.
Ugh, I don't say oh. Oh my god. You pair are hysterical.
Come on, you two. Let's get going before we're late.
You lead the way.
Monica takes my hand as the three of us start filing out the house. Out of the house. It doesn't take us that long to get to the school gates. I swear when we think we're gonna be late, we subconsciously walk a bit faster. Though, like many other things, that's probably just me. A thought then crosses my mind. Hey, just a question. Both girls look at me, awaiting my question. What have you two got today?
I mean, I've got a council meeting today. And we've got the English exam before lunch.
Wait. I clasp my hand over my mouth, utterly embarrassed. I can't believe I forgot. Well, in all fairness, I can believe it because it's me.
I'm guessing you haven't revised that much.
Reviewed? Fuck, she's right. But I can save myself, can't I? Well, actually, And I've got no comeback. Fucking sound.
Oh gosh, looks like you've got your hands full, Moni.
Sayori says that in an almost sing-song tone. I feel my cheeks flare up yet again. Oh, if only I had 100 yen for every time that's happened recently.
Don't worry, Sayori. I think I can handle him.
Monica's gentle smile helps to ease my embarrassment. Though, just as said embarrassment starts to fade, the bell chimes, replacing that embarrassment with a feeling that borders on dread. Monica takes me out of my slight daze by giving me a quick kiss on my lips.
You'll do just fine. I'll see you later.
Monica then disappears into the growing flood of students. I just end up standing there for a brief moment, simply smiling to myself.
Oi, Romeo!
Sayori playfully nudges me.
We're gonna be late.
Sorry. Sayori and I then start heading to our exam. If only I'd actually remembered it was today. I mean, whoops, that one was not auto-ending, it was my fault! I mean, Monica seems to believe in me. So there's a plus. I gulp. Hopefully I don't completely fuck this up. I sit here, spacing out in the vacant classroom where we've had to make two with for today's council meeting. Or is this Monica's? Because she said she had the council meeting. I guess we'll find out in a minute. We usually have our meetings in the staff room, but that's currently occupied. But this has to be Monica, right?
For what reason, I don't know. In all fairness, I haven't really been able to focus that much. I don't want to, but I just keep reminding myself of what Dad said last night. I just felt like I needed to talk to someone about what I was thinking about Yuri. Of course, I didn't mention Yuri by name. I only meant for Mom to know, mostly because I trust her with stuff like this. But Dad, as always, overheard the whole thing. Oh, Hallie's seeing this mystery girl behind your back. Guys these days are all the same. Stop being so gullible. Just the same shit he's been trying to peddle since he first found out about him. I know, Hallie. He wouldn't hurt me like that. But despite me knowing that, I can't shake off his words. Maybe I can talk to Sayori about it after school. She knows Hallie better than anyone I know. I just need some reassurance.
Hey, Monica, asked somebody.
A voice calls my name. My train of thought is then broken by a hand being waved in front of my face. Ah. I know you want to daydream about your boyfriend, but we got a council meeting now. You can daydream about him all you want at lunch. I swear, Kotonoha keeps teasing me about Hallie like she's only just found out. Besides Sayori, she was one of the first to find out. Well, one of the first to tell me anyway. Oh, would you look at that? I think you caught her out.
What?
And with that, my cheeks flushed crimson. Thanks for that, Kaho. No punctuation. There's a total of 6 of us in the council, but I feel much closer to Kaho and Kotanoha. I'd definitely consider them friends, but I just wish I could open up to them a bit more. Hell, I wish I could be me without people possibly thinking less of me. With Hallie, I've always been able to be myself around him because we're seemingly on the same wavelength. But I see the exception. Sorry about that. I guess I'm still a little giddy over my first boyfriend. I rest my head in my hands as my eyes dart towards Kaho, a cheeky smirk forming on my face. And I'm probably right in guessing you were like this when you started dating Ryuji. Oh, well, gotcha. I mean, yeah. I was only in junior high when we got together. How could I not be a little giddy? And besides, it's not like we're mad at you for being all lovey-dovey about him. It's actually pretty cute. Thanks, Koto. Kotanoha can be a little hyperactive sometimes, but she can be really sweet. Kinda reminds me of Sayori a little. Say, any idea where everyone else is? I mean, Sato's still ill, thankfully, so he's such a prick. Amen to that. But as for Anzu and Toshio, I think they're still on that English exam. In that case, why wasn't the meeting delayed? Beats me. Plus, let's just be honest, the staff here ain't the most organized. I chuckle. That's the thing I like about Kaho. She tells it as it is, although nowhere near as much as Natsuki tends to do. And then there's me, the one who can barely be honest with herself. I silently sigh, praying for lunch to hurry up.
Is that me? Yeah, or we left the exam. After finally being let out of the exam, I can breathe a sigh of relief. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But, like many of exams I've had in the past, I'm at least 50% sure I screwed up somewhere. Unless that's just me being overly critical of myself. Wouldn't it be the first, fourth, or sixth time? Now I just need to see what the rest of that box said and the one I clicked away. Now I just need to wait for... Gah! I'm snapped out of my daze by the feeling of 2 hands jabbing my ribs. Hands that can only belong to...
Gotcha! Maybe that'll teach you for spacing it out when I'm trying to talk to you.
Spacing it out? Sayori giggles maniacally, flashing me a playfully wicked smile. I laugh with her, trying to numb my pain. Note to self, pay attention to Sayori or suffer the consequences. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the roof to eat lunch and...
Oh, so that's where you're calling her now?
Sayori! Never in a million years would I have ever expected her to crack a joke like that. I'm guessing Natsuki's sense of humor finally rubbed off on her. Either that or she was waiting for the precise moment. And credit where it's due, it would have got a chuckle out of me if I wasn't completely flustered. That, and I think some of the other students might have heard her. Knowing what some of them are like, they've more than likely assumed dirtier. I huff, unable to come up with even a semi-decent comeback. Look, you want to
You sure?
I wouldn't be offering otherwise. Besides, I'm sure Moni wouldn't mind.
Okay.
The pair of us then start the walk to the roof. Just 2 floors and a metric fuckload of stairs to go. Damn the architect that designed this place. A minute or 2 later, we're walking on the 2nd floor. Whilst I'm more focused on getting to the roof, Sayori seems to be gazing out of the window. It eventually gets to the point where she stops walking, letting out a small gasp. Sayo? I follow her gaze out the window and look out of the window. Yeah? All I can see is the courtyard. What could Sayori be acting all surprised over? Eventually, though, the sight of a very familiar white ribbon catches my eye. Before I can say anything, Sayori points her out from the crowd. Well, the best she can whilst we're on the 2nd floor.
I thought you 2 usually met on the roof.
We do, yeah. I reach into my pocket. I'm gonna call her.
Why don't you just go out there? You can't hide on the roof forever, you know.
We're not trying to hide. Force of habit, I guess. Even if we were trying to hide our relationship, we'd be doing a pretty shite job considering everyone knows. I relent. Alright, we'll go. We both then backtrack back down the stairs. After quickening our pace, we make it outside. The only sounds around us are the faint chirping of birds and the miscellaneous chit-chat from other students. We walk for a bit longer before we come face to face with the school's lone sakura tree and the benches around it. And on of those aforementioned benches, of course, sits Monika. She appears to be writing something, whether it's a poem or something else, I'm not sure. As to not distract her, I opt to go towards her without getting her attention. Sayori, on the other hand, decides to sprint towards her.
Hey, Moni! Huh?
Monica snaps her head up in response to Sayori. It doesn't take her long to notice us.
Oh, hey, you two!
She pats the spaces next to her and we join her on the bench. Sayori gets out her small lunch and starts to eat almost instantly. I partially do the same, but I don't eat straight away. I turn my face to look at Monica. I missed you. And now my stupid grin returns. I swear I'll grow out of doing this eventually.
It's only been a few hours, Hallie.
A point taken. But still.
Don't worry, I missed you too. Oh, how was the exam, by the way?
I'd say I did okay. For the most part, anyway.
Let me guess, tough question. I think someone fell asleep during the exam.
I chuckle a bit as Sayori says that whilst still chewing. A little part of me wishes I did.
This true, Hallie?
Nah, I didn't. I scratch at my neck. It was a little tempting, though. Monica rolls her eyes, but eventually gives me a sly smirk.
I mean, not that I'd entirely blame you if you did. But please, don't do that. I want to see you do well, remember?
I know. I cut Monica's reminder short by gently squeezing her hand. In a way, I've always wanted to make you proud. Monica's heart visibly skips a beat.
You have?
Sayori then gives a slight chuckle. What are you giggling at?
Oh, nothing. I just think it's funny that Moni seems shocked about you wanting to impress her. I thought that was always pretty obvious.
I feel myself go a bit red. Monica rests her hand on my knee.
It's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
She's right. There's certainly a lot more I could be embarrassed over. Soon enough, our chatter is interrupted by the school bell. Sayori, Monica, and myself each say our goodbyes before we go our separate ways. Only a few more hours to go and I'll see them again. As the bell rings out for the end of the day, I start to pack my stuff away. After zipping up my bag, I sling it over my shoulder and start heading for the club. That was an important scene in the music room. I follow the usual route to the clubroom, avoiding the few students that remain in the hallway. Before I step inside, I look through the little glass plane on the door to see if anyone else is in. Yeah, no, that's definitely a pain. Like both Tuesdays before, I'm the first one to arrive. I guess this confirms my suspicion from last week that I'm the only one of us to have a class on the second floor today. I let myself in. After shutting the door, I go to sit at the desk closest to window, and rest my bag next to my leg. I then rest my head in my hands. Admittedly, I'm worn out. But unfortunately, the school's vending machines don't stock energy drinks. Throwing that plan out of the window, they're terrible for you anyway, man. However, the door clicks and opens. Yuri walks in and takes a seat near the center of the room. She didn't seem to notice me as she silently sets her bag down and pulls out a book and starts to read. A few minutes pass with no one else coming through the door. Maybe I could have a bit of a chat with Yuri. I think for a moment. I raise from my seat and walk over to Yuri. My progressing footsteps catch her attention.
Oh, hi, Hallie. How are you?
I'm doing alright, just a little exhausted. Yuri closes her book over, using her hand as a makeshift bookmark. Her book over? What?
Monica mentioned that you had an exam this morning. In all fairness, she didn't really speak to me that much.
Still? She told me she was going to try last night.
I don't wish to cause any issues, but she seemed a little more blunt with me today.
Yuri falls quiet. I pull up a seat and sit next to her. Yuri! Her eyes snap to look at me. I can't say I know exactly why Monica's being like this, but I'll try talk to her about it.
Thank you, Hallie.
Yuri smiles sheepishly. Just then the door opens. Monica walks in and I greet her almost instantly. Afternoon, sweetheart!
Hey, Hallie!
Her expression falters as soon as she notices Yuri next to me. But rather than being stern, like part of me assumed she would be given how Yuri described, she just smiles. She's not smiling though, albeit with a bit of a nervous tinge to it.
Hey, Yuri!
Her voice trails off. She then moves over to the front desk, her expression looking like her nerves have taken hold of her once more. Yuri gives me a curious look. I raise from my seat and then start going towards Monica. Internally, I'm starting to feel the same sense of mild dread I had when I was about to talk to Yuri about what happened. After getting to the front desk, I sit on its edge.